This is Eagle Owl, and today I will be talking about the last day of training camp. Yes, yesterday was the last day, and look, Quinyon Mitchell been a outside corner. He actually been playing corner too, and Ainias Smith ended training camp really strong. Jalen Hurts threw his first pick, but we're gonna go over every single note. But let's get straight into it. All right, man. Last day of training camp, and there were some shakeups. Definitely some shakeups. I got to talk about CJ Uzma. He got released. He was just, doing the right thing. I knew CJ Uzma wasn't gonna make the team, so I think it's EJ Jenkins time. I believe he will be tight end three. We will hold on to three tight ends, and I think EJ Jenkins get that last spot. And the veteran like CJ Uzma probably could find another team. We did sign a guard, I believe Jason Poe, for that open roster spot. There was another shakeup with Tyler Hall. So I thought Tyler Hall was going to be a guy we stashed. He was going to be on the IR list for a minute. And then eventually he was going to be activated to the active roster. But the Eagles settled with him like an injury settlement or something like that. I heard he had like a minor ankle sprain. Correct me if I'm wrong. And he probably could go play for a team now. Like the injury he had wasn't that serious, but the Eagles decided to let him go. Why I don't know. I thought he had a strong shot. Like he was one of those guys on the roster bubble that could have made the team, but you know he got released. And let's see what happened with Tyler Hall. He will find a home too. I believe CJ Uzuma and guys like Tyler Hall will find a home. But I guess the Eagles had to do what they had to do, right? But let's get into these camp notes. All right. So Matt Hennessy again on the injury report. Dallas Goddard dealing with a injury. Jalen Hunt, Trevor Keegan, Alberto, Caden Stearns, John Ross, Tyler Steen, and Johnny Wilson all did not practice. Hate to hear this about Dallas Goddard, but I'm hearing it's really minor. It's one of those things he could have practiced, but he just didn't. The starters, as far as linebackers and cornerbacks, Zach Bond and Devin White. I'm kind of disappointed they didn't give Dean like at least one day to start, especially the way he's ending camp. But it's nothing to harp on. Look like that's going to be the starting linebackers. As far as the cornerback position, and we're going to talk about this later into the notes. So Rogers was starting on the outside. Of course, Darius Slay, and they had Quinyon Mitchell in the slot. But speaking of Quinyon Mitchell, during base packages, they had Slay and Quinyon Mitchell out there. But dime packages and things like that, they have Quinyon in the slot and they have Rogers on the outside. So I really had to question, is Quinyon the actual cornerback too? Is he the actual cornerback too? Because if base packages, you have Quinyon out there, and dime packages you have them out there, but in the slot, I mean that's a good question to ask because that's how the practices ended the last two. So what Vic Fangio, it seemed like a message he's sending is that Quinyon might be the second best corner, as you guys were stating. I don't know, but it seemed like that's where the team is going. Because again, if you got him out there starting base packages, and not dime, yeah, that's an indicator that you might be CB2. So all along, you know, Ringo and this Rogers thing was like a minute problem or nothing to worry about. Not even a problem, I would say, just like okay, them two battling out to see who's on the field. But I think all along Quinyon might been the guy the whole time. And they, try him inside, but they want him outside as well. So they want a versatile guy like Quinyon to be out on the field at all times. That's what it seemed like. So shout out to Quinyon Mitchell because for Vic Fangio to basically say you the guy, you always gonna be on the field. We don't care if it's inside or out. I mean, he got to be a special guy. So we'll see. We'll definitely see far as how, the regular games go. But the last two practice have been really interesting how we've been using Quinyon. He's just been on the field at all time. Brandon Graham. Brandon Graham. beat Jordan Mailata. 2 quick sacks. Brandon Graham still showing he can play this game at a high level. Beating Mailata is no small task at all, but he beat him twice. So Brandon Graham is showing like I'm gonna contribute to this team no matter what. So shout out to Brandon Graham. Pickett at one point had a great throw to Joseph Nagata, and then like the next throw, he had a terrible throw to EJ Jenkins. I mean, Pickett is just so inconsistent, man. I can't believe this guy was a first rounder, man. Just can't. It seemed like he just never developed his game. And this is why he's with the Eagles as a backup today. Just stuff like that, man. One moment, great passes. Next, bad. We see you in the game, look like you can't throw past 10 yards. I don't know what's going on with Pickett, but this is good for Joseph Nagata, a guy who's on the roster bubble. He's getting great passes, but E.J. Jenkins wants some great passes too. Come on, Kenny Pickett. Jalen Hurts streak comes to an end. He threw a pick to Darius Slay. Darius Slay baited him. And even Darius Slay talked about the pick, but let me play this clip.
Oh, that's normal. Yeah, I'm 12 years in. I've been intercepting quarterbacks for a long time. Long time. Some of the great ones. So it was good. It's fun.
What you see on that play? Looked like you.
Oh, just
A little late. Looked like you baited him.
yeah, I baited him. That's it. I know how to bait Hurts. You know what I'm saying? I made him feel like he was open, and I'm like, nah, he ain't. That was it. Just a little bait. You know, threw a little rod out there and just reel it in.
Did Jalen say anything to you after?
Nah, he don't like to talk to me when I pick him off. He get kind of mad at me a little bit. He kind of bothered.
See, like, yeah, I baited him and this and that. But Darius Slay, I got a question for you. You had, this is Jalen Hurts 306 or something attempt. It took you 305 attempts to finally beat Jalen Hurts. Come on, Slay. He was cooking y'all. And this is what Jalen Hurts had to say to respond to Slay.
Told him about time.
About time, man. About time y'all caught a pick. And to be honest, I'm a little happy it happened. You know, a lot of questions was coming about our secondary again. Are they going to be good? I think it's one of those things where Jalen Hurts is just cooking. And even Slay said, like, yo, if we're going to have the season we need Jalen Hurts to have a big year. And
Say who?
One guy on the team was going to
I mean, if I got one guy to pick, man, I just want shoot. For us to get to where we need to go, I need Hurts to have the biggest season ever. So, you know, he the steer of the team. You know, of course, it takes all of us, but we know that quarterback position is very important to win games.
it looked like Jalen Hurts is trending that way. And to be technical, because Eagle Owl always got to be technical, John McClain put out there, technically, it wasn't a pick because Bryce Huff got a sack. That's the word. They're like, yo, Bryce Huff got there before the ball came out. I'm just saying, in the real game, that's a sack. You can't get a sack and a pick at the same time. So I'm just saying, Slay, you kind of got lucky they didn't blow it dead, but it is what it is. I digress, man. Saquon Barkley, it's nothing to worry about. I'm hearing he was fully dressed up, but he didn't participate in like the team drills. And a lot of people like, what's going on with him? What's going on with him? I'm hearing that it was like a load management thing. They just want him sitting back and relaxing. So, he got nicked up the last practice. Nothing major, but the Eagles like, yo, we need you. So they probably like, look, we just going to sit you. And to be fair, it was Kenneth Gainwell best practice. Best practice. Whatever you needed him to do, he did. Ran the ball well, caught the ball well. You know how he broke N'Kobe Dean ankles during the open practice? He did the same thing to Devin White. This practice, I mean, Kenneth Gainwell was all over the field doing his thing. Doing this thing, man, he's showing that he developed. And to be fair to Kenneth Gainwell, like we said, a lot of these dudes were like victim to last year's system. Kenneth Gainwell, I think, was a huge victim to last year's system. So I think Kenneth Gainwell know he got something to prove, and it's a contract year. And maybe he want to go to a different team and be the guy, or he wants to stay in Philadelphia, but show that, like, I deserve more touches. So Kenneth Gainwell, keep doing you, man. Keep doing you. This defensive line, man. We had a lot of questions because I saw Reddick and stuff, but they continue to show we can get sacks. I mean, Jalen Hurts, soon as practice started, out of 4 passes, he was sacked 3 times. Like the defensive line was getting there. I mean, Brandon Graham, as I mentioned, Bryce Huff, Jordan Davis, Jalen Carter, Morrow Drummo, a lot of these dudes were just getting home. The O line struggled, man, and I'm starting to get worried a little bit. I'm not gonna lie to y'all. Our O line, far as what I seen from the last game, preseason game, and it's like, yeah, Jalen Hurts is having these amazing numbers, but it look like he's taking like 20 sacks. Lucky it's not really hitting, but like, come on, man. We can't have a bad O line. You know, a lot of people saying this the Kelsey thing or whatever. I think it's more than that. I mean, they getting us on the right side, left side. Mailata's getting beat. Like, we need our O line. Our O line is the heartbeat of the team. They got to get it together, man. Unless our D line is that good. Now, if our defensive line that good and they just doing this to every team, I salute the defensive line. But come on, offensive line, this ain't a good look. Especially the season I think Jalen Hurts is going to have. Yeah, he's going to need y'all to really step up, and he's going to need y'all to stay healthy. So come on, O-line, step up. Ainias Smith caught a pass from Tanner McKee, one-handed snag, and easily, again, one of his best practice. Ainias Smith is showing that he can make this roster. That's what I love. Remember, when I was going off on Ainias Smith, I'm like, bro, you keep messing around, you're not going to make the roster or they're going to put you on that IR. And since then, I mean, I've been quiet. The criticism has been quiet. He's been going off all camp. He's been going off. And I thought he was going to be the guy to battle for the wide receiver 3. That's irrelevant right now. He needs to make the roster. He needs to make the roster and make a legitimate reason. And Ainias Smith is showing he can possibly take that last spot if we decide to keep 6 wide receivers. He's showing yeah, I can possibly make that last spot and be an impact on this team. Now I want to see him do something in the preseason game, but Ainias Smith, man, keep going up, man. Again, when you got drafted, I'm like, yeah, he can be that next Debo type receiver. And now he's showing flashes of it right now. So it's coming at a great time. It definitely is. But he was coming a lot of people say a 5th rounder or so can't be a bust. But to me, not making a team your rookie year, I mean, come on, man. That is that bust light, pause. Just keeping it a buck. Not making a team, that would have been crazy. But Ainias Smith, numbers are shooting up. We got another tight end in the battle. Another tight end. I'm talking about Ben Van Sumeren. So Ben Van Sumeren was lining up as tight end, and this is no game. Like, he can really be an emergency tight end. If you don't know, it's a little history lesson about Ben Van Sumeren. During college, he was a hybrid guy. So he was a linebacker slash fullback slash tight end. So he went one-on-one with Andre Sam and smoked him. Ben Van Sumeren, he's going for that tight end 3 spot. We'll see. I mean, I think it was all jokes and games and stuff like that, but it shows if you really need, it's one of those games yo, everybody getting nicked up and you need an emergency tight end. Van Sumeren can be an emergency tight end and really be productive. So this is crazy, but yeah, shout out to Ben Van Sumeren, man, getting some tight end reps. Britton Covey and Paris Campbell split wide receiver 3 snaps. I think they lean in Covey way because Paris Campbell didn't have the best practice today. I think he missed the wide open catch, if I'm not mistaken. Covey continues to make plays. He went one-on-one again with Cooper DeJean, smoked him again. He just keeps smoking Cooper DeJean, and Covey is having a great camp. Covey will make this roster because if he is cut, Yeah, he's going to get snatched up immediately, and I just doubt that's going to happen. I think he's wide receiver 3, and Paris Campbell, he's fighting for his life. He got a ball out during preseason. I think Covey showed enough, and with Paris Campbell being out, and then Johnny Wilson being out, and he being the only guy available, showing like I can be available and play at a high level. Covey showed a lot this camp. Covey went from, he might make the team, might not, but then he showed I can contribute to the offense. I'm just not a special team guy. So now we got a versatile guy in Covey, and he's earning his spot for sure. Got to talk about Eli Ricks, man. Eli Ricks is he had a day, man. Eli Ricks had a day. This breaks my heart about Eli Ricks. It's just one of those things like we're so loaded. He might be the odd man out, and sadly, he might go to another team, and sadly, he might be that guy on another team. But right now, he is trying out not only for the Eagles, gotta be honest, but he's trying out for other teams, showing he can be a valuable asset. And when you just go 6 cornerbacks in, you go Cooper DeJean, he's a rookie, he's going to make the team. Quinyon Mitchell, rookie's going to make the team. He's possibly a starting cornerback, outside cornerback. Then you have Rogers. We know he's nice to me. He can be the best cornerback on the team, but you guys say I'm biased to that. Then you got Darius Slay, then Devontae Maddox, and then what? Who else you got? It feel like I'm forgetting somebody for sure, but there's just guys ahead of Eli Ricks. If Eli Ricks made the team, it'd be that last spot. But I just don't see it. He's one of those guys we just gotta hope he clear waivers, and then we could put him on the practice squad. But we're so loaded at corner, man. It's just a good bad problem. And good players get cut a lot. If he goes somewhere else, he will be phenomenal. He will be great. So Eli Ricks keep putting out, great training camp tape, put out good tape during the preseason game, because man, oh man, it's gonna suck. I think he's gonna be that tough cut, Eli Ricks, man. But at the end of the day, he's still a solid corner. Don't get it confused that he might get cut. More than likely he will. That he's not a solid corner. The dude is solid. We just got a good problem. It's one of those things, man. But picked off Kenny Pickett, almost picked him off twice. Like he was all over the field. This was his best practice. So you go Ainias Smith, Kenny G, and Eli Ricks. Yeah, they had one of those days. They was balling. Nolan Smith shows some unusual power doing one-on-one. He went one-on-one with Kennard, the guy that been having a great camp, and beat him. Beat him with straight power. We know Nolan Smith got the bull rush. When he get there, he get there. But when he don't, it just don't look good because it looked like he got no other moves besides he used his speed and power and his motor, which it is a good thing, but we know football. You need more skills than that. So, I mean, if Nolan Smith getting that tool back, he can be a really good edge rusher. But he is showing me that he's probably a more off the ball linebacker, especially if he develop his game at that level. He's showing me more of that than the edge rusher. He might be, like a lot of people were saying from the start, maybe too small for an edge rusher. So we'll see how Vic Fangio use him in the future. Want to talk about Keely Ringo. So Keely Ringo get mossed for the 10th, 13th, 14th, 15th time in camp by Devontae Smith. Devontae Smith just always mossing Keely Ringo. And the problem with Keely Ringo is, and this is what the guy gave me into the notes as well, like it's his ball tracking. His ball tracking is just not that good. I mean, he got better from year one going into year two, but that's why I was saying when he was in preseason, yeah, when you guarding like guys, rookies, and guys that possibly won't make the team, yeah, you're gonna look good. But when you matched up, I said like Terry McLaurin's, the CD Lambs, and things like that. When you matched up against guys they're going to take advantage of that. And that's the problem with Keely Ringo is his ball tracking skills. We know he's physically gifted. We know he can run and keep up with a lot of receivers, but sometimes he get laxed on double moves and again the ball tracking. That's why he get mossed by AJ Brown and Devontae Smith a lot. But he do have the potential of being that guy. It's just one of those things he got a lot to work on. And the last note of the day I got is that Brandon Smith, he's one of those dudes, the linebacker Brandon Smith, is one of those guys that had one of the best camps that won't make the team. Like Brandon Smith. And it sucks. Again, we got Van Sumeren, we got Trotter Jr., N'Kobe Dean, Devin White, so it's just that he's the odd man out. He might be a practice squad guy for sure, but Brandon Smith had a really good camp, but he just might be the odd guy out. Same way I was talking about Eli Ricks, Brandon Smith, same thing. Same exact thing, man. But again, like I said, that was the last note I got. Last note of the training camp. And we're about to heat up for that regular season, man. Of course, videos gonna still come out every single day. No more training camp, no more Eagle Owl. Going over my training camp notes. We're gonna talk about the actual games, get reactions. We're gonna talk about what happened during the weeks because it's Philadelphia Eagles football. It's always gonna be something going on. Always gonna be a rumor. Then you're gonna have cut downs. We're gonna go over that. See if the Eagles made the right moves or not. See who we signed to the practice squad, and it's gonna be fun this season. It's gonna be really fun. I know a lot of guys were saying, "Yo, Eagle Owl, you gotta go live." I just gotta find that right time, that right day. Like, should I do game streams? Should I do like aftermaths at night? Because I know a lot of our favorite content creators, they live stream during the game. Maybe I can, sneak in and do like after aftermath type thing, and we talk about the game together, maybe the night or whatever, or straight after the game. We'll see, man. I got a lot of things planned that I'm thinking about, and again, it's going to be a fun season. But this is Eagle Owl, man. I'm up.